Welcome back to Keep Expecting Miracles. I am Ilissa.
And I'm Jessica.
We're back. We're back with a mini pod episode to discuss.
Sinners.
Yes, we have to. We have to do a review. We have a podcast. Hello, it's like the number one movie in the world. So of course we're gonna review it.
Mm-hmm.
And Jessica and I
Mm-hmm.
saw it very close, like what, one day apart. So we're like, oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's fresh in both of our minds. I don't have to wait for her. She doesn't have to wait for me. Let's review it.
Do it. Yes.
I would say it's a hot. Not only is it the number one movie in the world, but it's very controversial.
It is. It is controversial, which I can't say that I was expecting that. I wasn't expecting that. Because
No,
I'm like, the amount of horror shows or suspenseful movies, vampire movies, like my thing is what's the vampire movie from the 90s?
I
Um
don't know, girl. I'm not a
with
vampire
Snoop
movie.
Dogg. I mean, right.
Oh,
Right.
Vampire from Brooklyn.
Yes.
Oh, see, I
You
didn't
know,
even
like
watch that.
you never watched it?
No,
Yeah.
I'm
I
not a
I mean,
vampire
I was too
person.
young at the time, but I'm like, that's what I'm like, oh yeah, like it's our version of that for our age now that we're the
Oh,
adults.
okay, yeah.
And I don't remember that coming with the type of controversy that Sinners has come with. But I think, number one is the name that they chose.
I know.
Sinners.
Well, I mean, okay, just looking at so just this the timeline of me getting to because I wasn't even gonna watch the movie, and the reason why I wasn't gonna well, okay, so all Michael B. Jordan movies I automatically just see anyway. We already know why because it's him. Then so Donnell's like, "Oh, your boy's coming out with another movie. You're gonna watch it?" So this was like
Your
months
boy.
ago, months ago. Yeah, 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 months ago.
Hmm.
And I was like, so I went and I saw like the small trailer that they put out. It wasn't even anything that had to do with the movie. It was just I was like, no, I'm not gonna watch that. I don't like anything that has to. I don't watch horror films anymore because I'm very sensitive,
Hmm.
and I just can't see. And I'm like, I don't want to see him as a demon. No, and it's called
Same.
Sinners. I'm like, I don't want to see Michael B. This is crazy. No, no, and
Same.
no. And so he's like,
Yes.
okay. Fast forward to now. The last 2 weeks that the
Hmm.
movie has premiered and just blown up, and the people, the think pieces and their thoughts and the reactions, the reviews, 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's just like, oh wow, this movie is something. So it's like, oh, I guess we should probably watch it now because it's actually not about demons. Well, he's not being demon possessed, and it's not that bad of a horror film. I don't like anything with like possession or like I don't like that. So it's not that though.
It's not.
It's not that. So uh we went and saw it and it was really
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
That was just off the top surface level.
How did you feel leaving the movie theater? As you got up, you walked out.
I felt like, wow, this is a movie that highlights what my podcast has been talking about the last couple of months. Yes.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's what I thought about. Like, wow, I am actually aligned with what is being shown on a massive scale,
Hmm. Hmm.
aside from the horror. How did you feel when you left?
Heavy, but also transformed. I said, I'm not the same person that walked in here and sat down. I'm leaving out here a little bit different
How
because
so?
exactly
How so?
because it was more so of a confirmation, like you said. It was a like, hey, look at what your people has been through. But
Mhm.
look at where you are now. Look at what you can do.
Mhm.
Look
Mhm.
at the opportunities that you have.
Mhm.
What are you complaining about?
Mhm.
Like there's no room for I don't want to say there's no room for complaints because of course, things don't always go your way,
Mhm.
but it just just made me feel like, oh my gosh, I'm so lucky to be living in this time that I'm living in.
Yeah.
So fortunate for that. So I felt grateful for it, and also just the heaviness of what our, I'm loosely saying ancestors, because there are still people alive who remember what it's like to
To be
be
in
go to the juke
sharecropping.
joint, like, yeah, to be a
Yeah.
sharecrop, all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, there are still that, those people are still around, so it's not that far removed.
Mhm.
And so it was just like a, it was like a reminder of, remember, this is what it used to be, and now
Mhm.
look at what it is now.
What is the time period that is set in? So sharecropping time period
think
is
it's like the
1930s.
I think it's like the 30s. It said. It
Okay.
said, yeah, because even
Okay.
listening to the blues. So here's my connection, actually, that you, I don't think you're aware of this, but when we were in high school, we were in a club called Umoja,
Mhm.
and for Black History Month, we were putting on a play, and, or not a play, but like a what do you call it?
Showcase, like a
Yeah, yeah.
showcase.
And so I then decided to take it upon myself to, I was like, hey, I can sing. I'll sing a song. So I started studying the blues from the standpoint of that era of music that was in the film.
Mhm.
And then I just remembered, like, at that time, I wore my hair like that. Like, it was almost like I discovered myself from a past life.
Okay. Yeah, because didn't I know the music, most of the music in that showcase was that time period, cuz I think Brianna sang Billie Holiday Strange Fruit and
Yeah.
um yeah. What did you
Yeah.
sing? Do you remember what you sang?
Yes, I do. Now it comes back because we did two. I was in two of them, so 2 different years. But for that year, I sang "Summertime"
Okay.
by Bessie.
Oh wow.
I believe.
Wow.
I think that's the name. Look, I might be, because so many people sang that song. So many people
Mhm.
sang that song, and yeah, that's what I felt
So
like.
you were reconnected. So we wanted to because there's so many aspects of this movie that can be talked about and highlighted, and so we wanted to name specific themes just right off the bat. um so money, that was a big theme in the movie, and that just that exchange of energy. Women as healers, that was a big thing that came up for both Jessica and I in the movie. Religion and spirituality is a major theme, as well as the power of your voice. Is that all of them, Jessica?
The last one, no, yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
actually all of them. Yeah, you're right.
Yes. Yes. So we wanted to hit on those themes, but also acknowledge the cinematography.
Mm-hmm.
They had a very large budget for the movie, so they were able to shoot this budget on very big cameras and shoot the movie on very big cameras, and just the cinematography was beautiful to be able to see
Mm,
the scenes in their totality. Just the setting of just the time period was just beautiful filming.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It
um
was.
just to see black people, in that way too. It wasn't a small frame shot. They were very wide shots with the details and the costumes and the colors, and
Mm-hmm.
was just amazing. But I was telling Jessica earlier, like, people are so surprised that this movie is, I mean, I think just because the basis of the movie is not just another horror movie. But I told Jessica, like, we can't expect anything less from Ryan Coogler. He brought us Black Panther and Wakanda Forever. Classic movies. Had everybody on Facebook, on Instagram talking about Wakanda Forever. That Wakanda Forever is now a part of people's vocabulary. Like, we believe that there
Yes.
is a Black Panther, that there was a Black Panther, and now he's resting in peace. Chadwick Boseman, he is our Black Panther. So it's like that
Mm-hmm.
was a whole
Mm-hmm.
movement.
Mm-hmm.
That was a whole movement. So of course This is a movement too. But so I want to go back to, you said let's start off. Why do you think, I don't think I've seen any interviews. I was thinking about that last night, like why was it called Sinners? Why do you think it was called Sinners?
Right, girl. I think that that touches on that's why we're able to do a think piece on this. That's why we're able to talk about it, because he chose that name for a vampire movie. Okay.
Hmm.
Because who were the main ones that we can consider the sinners who are holier than thou, and says you must trust in our God, in our Jesus, and you must follow this Bible, and you must bow down to me because I am your master.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
So it's like a double thing.
I
Yeah.
think that he is referring to the oppressive, the oppressors,
Hmm.
as the sinners.
Hmm. And
He
not
has
just,
not said that. I have not heard, but that is what I think it is. Once I sat down and I was seeing everything, I'm like, oh, because he's shown who the original sinners are, the ones who claim to be saved and claim to be saving everybody else. But you the ones that's going around here tearing up everything and killing people.
that's true. That's true. That's true. It's so many angles and so many things that you can, questions and so many just analysis that you could do. The first one, the topic of money, is
Yeah.
how intentional he was about showing black people that know how to deal with money.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Like, know the value of money, know that you have to negotiate. That was the first scene when well, maybe the second scene when they were talking about money, like how Stack was, no, was it Smoke? It was Smoke was telling the little girl, like, he was negotiating with her. He was teaching her how to negotiate. Like, don't just take the first offer. Like,
Mm-hmm.
hello, that is something that we need to all apply to our lives.
Yes. Yeah.
Jobs, making deals with people, let negotiate. It
Mm-hmm.
has to be a relationship. There has to be an exchange of back and forth. It can't just be, okay, I'll take 10 cents for, an hour.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that was beautiful. And also, like, they, when they were buying the mill, like, this is the money that, this is how much we're paying you, and this is what you're gonna take.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's why I have to go back and see it a second time, because I didn't see that part. I was late, y'all.
Oh.
I was late. I
Yeah,
got in there
yeah.
once he was negotiating. I saw the negotiation of the getting the signs made. I saw that negotiation.
Oh, okay. Oh, but you
Yeah.
didn't see, them purchasing the mill and then him talking to the little girl.
Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah, that was right before
Mm-mm.
that. That was right
Yeah.
before. It
Sure, I
was,
would have loved it. I love to
yeah,
see a man negotiate.
yeah, because it's really talking about, because so he asked the girl to watch his truck, and I think he said 10 cents for every minute that he was away,
Mm-hmm.
and she said okay, and he was just like, money
Aw.
is, I think one of the lines was like, money is there's a relationship with money or something that he said, that it has to talk back, you have to talk back to it, so you can't just
Mm.
say, oh yeah, okay, I'll take the 10 cents. No, how about you, like, you offer me another number? And so
Mm-hmm.
he ended up, basically doing the negotiation for her, because she was a young girl, but he ended up giving her 20 cents for every minute.
Oh.
And so it's just like, don't just take the first offer that you get. This is your time. You are valuable. Yes, money is a currency that we're operating on, but there is value to you as a person,
Mm-hmm.
your time. So to me, that was just brilliant, brilliant,
Yeah.
brilliant. Especially him teaching a child that. Like,
Yeah.
we as black people need to teach our children.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow.
So
That's good.
yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
But that takes me to, fast forwarding into the movie, where the people are paying with store credit,
Oh
with
my
the
god, the
wooden nickels.
sharecropping credit from the
Yeah. And
basically not getting paid.
mhm. And how Smoke is like, oh, it's fine, or not Smoke, Stack, it's like, oh, they just need a party, let them party. And Smoke is like, no, we need actual US dollar bill.
Yeah.
Real money. But I was just like, it was great to see like that conflict like that too in a movie between, like, obviously they the same person, but it character wise, two black business partners, two black men, and how they were like going to come up with a plan. Like they even estimated like, well, how long do we have if we run like this? Oh, well, we'll be out of business in this many months. So I'm like, this was great to see, because I think that it was, which I before this conversation that we're having now, I actually did not think about this when it comes to black business. But a, a lot of us, I don't know the statistics, I don't know the statistics when it comes to black businesses and how well or how long they run for, but I know that there are different platforms and different groups for black owned businesses, because we don't necessarily we don't have the same opportunities as um, the other businesses. And so it was nice to see that they put that in the movie, like, here's a conflict that we're having with our business and here's how we're going to solve it, whatever.
Yeah, because you
um,
want to, as a black owned business, that they're catering to black people. That's who
right,
their audience is, and so they want black people to
exactly.
come in and enjoy it. But then they're realizing that the black people don't even have the money to spend because they don't
Mm-mm.
know their value. Like I was just
Mm-hmm.
saying, like these are older people that have been probably were slaves. Now they're sharecroppers, and now they have wooden nickels to show
Mm-hmm.
for the time that they're spending in the field all day, and they're just coming to buy. They're buying drinks with wooden nickels.
Yeah, yeah, that they can't use for nothing. Did I send you the video about the wooden nickels? There's an influencer on Instagram. She posted about how her grandfather shared with her about the history of the wooden nickels. So it was because and I actually was able to explain it to my son, to Jaden. I was like, yes, send for the win. Because with his dad's family, they grew up in I believe they're from Mississippi, Louisiana, Chicago, Indiana. Though, they kind of like traveled up. And so I told Jaden, I'm like, this is your heritage. This is your ancestry. You need to know what your family, what their lives were like. And I'm sure they had wooden nickels, being sharecroppers. But the lady basically said that her grandfather told her that, once they were freed and they were sharecropping, they often were not paid in real money, were paid in those wooden nickels, just so that they could go and get, whatever from the store. Like, they weren't given actual cash. And so they had to, she said her grandfather would always tell her, make sure you don't get no wooden nickels, make sure you don't accept no wooden nickels. And so she said until she saw the movie, she never understood why he would say that. She just thought it was just like something to say, just a saying.
Because that's how they were paid.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow,
Mm-hmm.
wow, wow. And so
And
as a
mhm.
business owner, there's a conflict. Like, this is how these people are being paid, but I need actual money. You knowing the value of your time and your energy and what you're putting
Yeah.
into your business, and it costs money to run a business, but you're also catering to black people who are being paid in this way. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. But I
Wow.
also saw, money working in a very negative way, where, because it seemed like Stack felt like his back was against the wall now that his brother only wants, cash. Well, he just said, I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to get this. And
Yeah.
then, of course, I don't remember her name in the movie.
No, not Mary. Mary. Yeah, Mary.
The the the
Mary.
mixed
That's a
girl, I
whole
guess.
nother thing. That's a whole nother thing. The fact that her name was Mary.
Yeah. How, he let her be the lead to go and do it. So, but it's like,
So what Jessica is talking about is she went to go get, basically the vampires showed up and they all made a mutual decision. No, we don't want that money. We don't want the problems that y'all are bringing up in here.
mhm,
Somehow Stack it's like, okay, we still need money, so let's. Well, why would three extra people in there put them? So that's my whole thing. It's like, okay, you're gonna go out there and bring them into the club. There are three more people buying three drinks. Is that gonna bring y'all into out of the red now?
Right.
That
And
makes no sense.
that's what I'm saying. Like he wasn't thinking. He was
Yeah.
thinking he was it was stress. That's what that was. Where
That's
he was
that's
like,
the white that's the white woman devil that's doing that.
mhm,
I'm glad that's what I'm saying. Why the fact that her name was Mary
mhm,
and she's the one
yeah,
that persuaded him and bit him and turned him into a vampire and was the evil one. Like, Mary is always portrayed as an angelic, obviously Mother
mhm,
Mary, Mary Magdalene, all these
yeah,
Marys.
yeah,
But this is a Mary that's evil.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah. That was a good. That was
I
really
mean,
good.
that part was big to me. I was so mad. I was so mad at,
I wasn't
at
mad.
Seth
I was like,
because
typical. We already know this story. How many
I
times does it have to
know
play out, OJ? How many
that's
times does it have to play out? Okay, that's why they
that's what
shouldn't
made me
even
so
been together in the
angry.
first place, because of the history of a white woman with a black man can get you killed.
Uh, that's the thing. I'm like, you'd already told her. He had already told her we are not going to be together to stay away from me. And
But
she still found her way in, and he just couldn't find himself to tell her no again.
Mhm. Because I mean, they did love each other. They had love for each other. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, but that just shows the power of the woman and
Hmm.
how we're able to persuade men.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, when you fall in love with a white woman, sometimes that might be the consequence. Shannon Sharp is going through that right now. Being sued.
Yeah.
Being
So
sued
many,
for
so many
having an
people
inappropriate relation. Who was it? What's the boy name? That's
from Lovecraft Country.
Yeah, Jonathan
Yeah.
Majors.
Jonathan
We can go
Majors.
we can go down the line. We can go down the line, and it's like
Hmm.
typical.
Or even the one college kid that was killed by his girlfriend.
Oh yeah, in Miami.
Hmm.
In Miami Beach. Yes, you're right. Killed by the girl, and then she gonna lie and say, "Oh, he." No, she killed him.
Hmm. Hmm.
But like, basically, keep your eyes open. And I'm glad they put that in the movie theater. Stop messing
Yeah.
with these goddamn white women.
Yeah.
Because it might not. And to me, what I tell Donnell all the time is, it's not the girl herself. It is the outside influences. It's her family, it's her friends, it is other people that can get into her ear and influence her,
Hmm.
that can turn her into a vampire, that can cause you to turn too.
Hmm.
Hello,
Hmm.
it's the
And
movie.
and not realize it. Just, well, I have the highest intentions. She may have the highest intention, and that's I feel so, like, I don't know, as someone, which I know the whole thing, you can't invite everybody to the cookout, but there's this part of me that is so accepting of people, where I can understand why a man would say it doesn't matter what her race is. It doesn't matter, like, she's kind to me. She does this for me. She does that. Like, I should be able to love whomever I want, which is true. But we cannot erase the facts of the type of spirit that has run rampant in, unfortunately, white families.
Mm-hmm.
And it's there, and they know it's there. And
Mm-hmm.
it hurts me so much to say that, because but we cannot get away from it. Like,
Mm-mm.
it's
Mm-mm.
here, and it's here
Mm-mm.
all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, you know I'm sure I know the character thought that she was doing something good. She thought she was gonna, protect her man and do what she wants to do for her man. But where was your discernment, lady?
But yeah,
Where
where you
she
you you want to help out though? I mean, I know this is a movie, but I'm like, okay, aren't you married to somebody who's rich and white? Just
call up your husband?
you didn't bring no money with you.
That part too. anything, you know.
Anything but that. But I mean, obviously that was a part of the storyline, so it had to
It
happen. But
had
it's
to
just like,
happen.
come
I know.
on now, come on.
I
But
know. That's,
that just made me think of Patrick Mahomes. Oh my gosh, you know who he's married to.
Mhm,
So they were doing an interview, like a couples, I'm gonna reference two different videos. They were doing like a couples like question, like, so she was asked what his favorite favorite food was, and she's gonna say fried chicken. You love some fried chicken, because they're from Kansas City, so you know they have the accent. And he was just like,
okay.
no, that's not my favorite food. So she was shocked. Okay,
Mm,
that was a red flag to me.
mhm,
He just came out with an interview. He just cut all his hair off. You know, he had a mohawk.
mhm,
He said, "Did you see what he said in that interview?
mhm.
Why would y'all
The
let me walk around with all that nappy hair?
mhm.
You're so out of touch with yourself. Do you have self hate? That is what we're talking about. This is what happens. You're wake up, boy. Somebody need to snap your fingers. Are you in a sunken place?
Mhm. Mhm.
He's in a sunken
That
place.
but look, that's another movie. That movie was a movie
Yeah,
because it needed to be, and
yeah, yeah.
it's not it's one thing to retain your heritage, retain everything that you are while you are married, but you know, a lot of the times they don't. Our men, they need so much protection. You know, I would have to see and hear from successful mixed race marriages, or specifically black men that are married to white women, because unless they were to leave their family and have no contact, which I have seen that,
Hmm.
it is, and I don't know, it's almost impossible for there to for the man to retain his, you know, to stand in his blackness.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
it's, you know, I have several white friends. I had one of them actually that came to me and she was just like, I don't know, my mother is just showing me a side of her that I didn't know. She's prejudiced. I had no idea.
Hmm.
And I'm like, oh yeah.
Hmm.
I'm sure she always been.
Yeah, and that's how you were raised.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
the, I don't know. I look forward to the day when all of these, when that unravels and it just,
I
you
hope
know.
it starts. I hope it starts. That was the one thing they asked us. I remember this question when we were being interviewed to go into therapy school. One of the interview questions was, what type of client would you have a problem uh seeing in, marriage and family therapy program? So
Mhm,
I was honest with them. I said, honestly, I would have a problem with a mixed, living in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia at the time, with a mixed race couple, with it being black man, white woman. Like, there's no way that I can, because as a therapist, you have to acknowledge your bias. You have to acknowledge anything that might come in between. And so you have to say, okay, I need to refer you out because I can't take you on as a client. That would be one of the instances. Like, I'm not going to be able to be objective. I'm not going to be able to be
mhm,
unbiased. I will be judgmental. I will be saying, I told you so. Get away from this white devil. Because this is why you have the problems right now. Like,
mhm,
it was honest. It didn't keep me out of school, but
mhm.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean that's why the movie is Sinners, you know? You don't even, he didn't even realize that she was going to be his worst nightmare. Turned love of his death, I guess, cuz in the end they turned into vampires and
Oh,
lived
I
on
could
forever
see it. I
together.
could see it from the very beginning. And that Sammy saw it too. That's why every time when they gave Sammy that directive, I think you missed it too. He said Sammy was supposed to be the person watching Stacks back at the beginning when
Oh,
they pick Sammy up. Like, this is your job.
yeah.
Like, anybody who stares at him too long, you need to let me know. And
Mhm.
in the train station where they saw Mary saw Stack,
Mhm.
and Sammy was the first person to see Mary looking at him,
Mhm.
and it was the same thing while they were in the juke joint. Like,
Yeah.
she's looking at you
Mhm.
because he could see this girl is trouble.
Mhm. Mhm. Hmm.
I saw from I'm like, oh, that's gonna be his downfall. I already know. Thank you, Ryan Coogler, for putting this in here loud and
Yeah.
clear for all these black men to see it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Please, I hope
Yes.
they see it. Please.
And also, thank you for putting in Annie,
Yes, our black
our
woman healer.
gorgeous, dark skinned, full bodied,
Voluptuous.
yes,
Yes.
loved on. Well, at the during the movie, because look, Smoke was away. We don't know how long he was away for. They did lose a baby. I don't know what happened before, but what we saw of them is that he did treat her with respect,
Yeah.
let her be who she is, listen to her,
Yes.
gave her room to say, "Hey, we shouldn't be doing it like this. We got to do it like that."
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You know?
Yes. And was the voice of reason for the whole movie.
Yes.
The one
Mhm.
giving out the instructions, the directives, the one that knew what to do because she was tapped in spiritually.
And when she died, she was the only one who died, and all of the vampires said, "What? No! Why would you kill her?"
They wanted her. She was a strong woman. And you see
Hmm.
that black woman? You see that black women? Listen to that. They
Yeah.
want us. They want us. They want our blood. They want our power.
Hmm.
That's what that scene told me. She was a
Hmm.
very powerful character, and they knew it because they knew if she would have turned, it would have been no problem for Smoke to turn and everybody else to turn because she could have convinced them.
Hmm.
She could have convinced everybody. She could have shown them how to do hoodoo or whatever she was practicing. We want to
Hmm.
thank Ryan Coogler for putting that in there too
Man.
and shedding light on that because
Yes.
that is what the controversy is about with our black people and Christianity and hoodoo.
Girl, I've seen people. Why would I see a movie named Sinners? What you mean? Because the Bible says that we're all sinners.
Right.
That's
And
why
come
you would see a
short of the
movie named
glory of
Sinners.
God. Yes. Yes. I
It's
know.
crazy.
I know. I know. But yeah,
But
the herbs that they featured, her working the roots,
hmm. Hmm.
her mojo bag, her
Hmm.
show remember they showed the scene of her the little girls coming to her and like she's giving medicine for the little girl. I
Hmm.
was like, oh my gosh, that's me. That's me. I'm gonna be giving people medicine.
I
People are gonna
thought
be
that was so
coming to
beautiful.
me and I'm gonna be okay, all right, send this on now. This take this for this. Here you go. I'm like,
Hmm.
yes.
Hmm.
That was so beautiful. I love
Hmm.
that. I loved it.
I look, that was one of the best parts of the movie to me.
Mhm.
Um, and even her just it basically showed, because I did see somebody say this, why would I watch a movie that shows that the word is not strong enough? And I'm like, this is a message for our people. We have the Bible, but we must use it in conjunction with our
Yes.
ancestral wisdom.
Yes. Yes.
It is this and
Yes.
that and
Yes. Yes.
it,
Yes.
because in the end, when Remick, the main vampire, was reciting the prayer along with Sammy, I said, hold on, shut the front door.
Yes.
Of course, the one who was evil would know the word. I said, this is right here, clear as day. The evil knows the same words that you know,
Mhm.
but he does not know how to work the roots. He does not know how to work with the land.
But why we got to go back? Why does the evil know the word in the Bible, Jessica?
Because they're the one that gave it to us.
To control, to instill fear,
Mm-hmm.
to colonize.
Mm-hmm.
The evil knows the word because they are the ones that created it, passed it on, forced it on to us.
Mm-hmm.
People have to
Yeah.
wake up and see that. People have to wake up and see that. And it's not even if looking at it from the other side is that in order for somebody to woo you and to seduce you and to persuade you, they are going to align with the things that you know and like. And hello.
You are 100% with that. 100%. And that is why it was so important for him to include that, because yes, you know the Bible, you know the text front way, back way, always. But what is your actual spirituality like? Are you listening? Are you connected? Can you hear you into your intuition? Because in that movie, Wunmi or Annie was the only one who had that.
Oh, the black woman.
The black woman was the only one who said, "Wait, I'm being spoken to right now. We cannot move forward.
Yes. Or
Do not let
something
them in."
doesn't seem right.
Hmm.
What's
Hmm.
going on here?
Hmm. Which is why you can't. You like you have we all have to develop a relationship with the earth, with the spiritual realm.
Yes.
The spiritual realm is made up of more than just the Almighty.
Yes.
The
Yes.
Almighty created everything,
Yes. Yes.
everything in all forms. And I luckily I got to say this to somebody yesterday. If you don't give yourself a chance to expose yourself in a safe way, if you don't expose yourself to what you perceive as evil, how are you going to know what evil looks like when it comes straight to your face and tries to attack you?
Exactly.
Because it's going to attack you the same way Remick did. Come on, let's have fun. Let's party.
Exactly.
You guys want to be free, right? Yeah, come on with me.
Exactly. Exactly. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That brings us on to the next, because we're talking about the religious aspect and the spiritual aspect right now, but the power of Sammy and what he represented in that movie was the
Mm-hmm.
voice,
Mm-hmm.
and how powerful voices throughout time, different cultures, different people, they have specific people that, and they said, I think at the beginning of the movie, they said the history of people that can pierce the veil.
Mm-hmm.
And in African culture, they're called the griot, or the griot,
Mm-hmm.
however you want to pronounce it. But healers, witch doctors, whatever you want to call them, medicine men, medicine women, with their voice, with singing specifically, you can pierce the veil and call in your ancestors right there to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not even from the past. Now, this was the best scene in the movie. We ain't just talking about the past. We are talking about what we have brought in Sarah Bakiba days. Time
Mm-hmm.
traveling, healing the future, bring in the future, Afrofuturism at its finest.
Mm.
When they showed that, I was like, oh my gosh, Sarah, they're time traveling. Sarah, they're time traveling. I was so blown away by that. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
about you.
Yeah, look, I wanted to cry. I don't know if I had a little tear, but I'm like, hold on, I don't want my contacts to be fuzzy because
I know Donnell
I
loved
want to
it
keep
too.
watching.
Yes, he loved
That's
it too. He was
that's
like, they brought in the future. I'm like, hello, that's time traveling,
that's when I
Donnell.
was texting you. I said, I was like, listen, this is the movie that's gonna wake everybody up. This is
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
monumental
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was, oh my gosh, it
to
was
show, but for them
so,
to be in the same room, it wasn't like you had to move. It was dancing right next to each other. And in
yes,
the people that Alyssa and I have been listening to, and the studies, and even just our own spiritual occurrences that we have had, where all timelines are happening all at once together,
yes.
and all we have to do is shift to one if we want to get onto another one. Like we know that that is actually happening, and for Ryan Coogler to put that in there, like, look, he dancing, but so is he, and so is he, and so is he. It's
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
all at once, and no one can see the other. And no one bumped into the other. It was just cohesive.
mm-hmm.
Just it was beautiful.
Moving, yeah, it was beautiful. Oh my
Hmm.
goodness, that cinematography was beautiful,
Hmm. Now,
beautiful.
it made me extremely emotional because I know a lot of us, especially living here, being taken away. What played in my head was America, the land of the lost for our people, the land of the lost for those who
Mhm.
you know came through slave trade routes, and we come through those slave trade routes, and we don't know which part of Africa we came from. We don't know what's supposed to speak to us. We literally have to go and do a blood test or a spit test and find out who else,
Mhm.
what
Mhm.
tribe we could be from. And so then we, have hip hop, we have our culture, whatever, our American Black culture. And then we're just like, yeah, but it's separate. He said, no, that's not separate. That's one and the same.
Mhm.
So this is
Mhm.
just the transformation of that.
Yes.
You are still that. You are still your roots, and you cannot
Yes.
hide and run from it.
Yes.
And I really hope that people got that. Like, you're
Yeah.
still, that's still a part of you.
And he said it, the old man said it in the movie, the older singer, the harmonica player, he said, like, blues connects us to, this is what we brought from the ships. This is our medicine that we brought here.
Mm.
Nobody gave this to us.
Mm-hmm.
This is why it's so powerful. This is why people are
Yes.
so led, spiritually led by. This is why they want to get up and move, because this is in us. It's in us.
Mm-hmm.
It's what's activating our blood and our DNA and our
Mm-hmm.
spirit. Oh my goodness, I love that. I'm like, oh, I'm getting chills just talking about
I
it.
like that he included grunge music.
Yes.
Um, in an interview, he said that grunge music is just another version of the blues played by, by them. He said grunge music is ours. And
Oh
as
wow.
I did listen to, sometimes I like to listen to grunge
Mhm.
myself, just because it does have that emotional, like, it's like an emotional reckoning.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, it's exactly what he said. It is just like that.
Mhm.
It is, you know, one and the same. It's so funny because my son, he'll listen to a blues song. He'll listen to like an old school blues song, but he will be like, "Why am I listening to the to grunge?" Because he has a friend who plays it.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's like, "No," I tell him not to play that around me.
Yes, that's so funny. That's so funny. But was
Yeah,
there another theme? Did we hit on all the themes?
I feel like in the short time that we did this,
Because we talked about, I mean, there's so
we
many other
did.
things with the religious and spirituality aspect of it too. Like, Lucifer was the minister of music up in heaven.
Hmm.
He knows how to take control, interact, possess. He knows how to seduce and seduct through music.
Hmm.
The music industry itself with black people, how it has
Hmm.
us shooting and killing and stealing and sexing and running rampant with no direction, nothing. Letting white music producers in the music industry control and tell us, yes, this is what the song, this is what you need to be putting out to your people: drugs, sex, killing, shooting. No, it was the last thing that I wanted to touch on too is the whole concept of vampires. And I asked him, I was like, "Do you think that vampires are real?" Because you know me, I'm always like, and he's just like, "No." And I was like, "Yeah, but like, what if they are real?" And so I was thinking about it in another sense. Is like, there are certain indigenous cultures, African, native indigenous cultures that do believe in vampires. And I kind of do too, in the form of energy.
Hmm. Hmm.
And energy vampires, people that suck your energy dry. The
Hmm.
fact that they said that they had to be invited into your house, to me, was like, oh my gosh. I am somebody who's very big on who comes into my house, like physically steps into my house and is in my house. Everybody that knows me knows I don't allow everybody to come to my house. That is my this is my domain. And if I do have people, like people that clean, or ancillary people that do come in, I'm saging, I'm palo santoing, I am clearing the energy, because this is my space.
Hmm.
But even not your body entering into your temple, your house, like, who is attaching to you? Who is sucking you dry?
Yeah.
That aspect of the movie was just like, oh wow, my eyes are open now.
Yeah.
I need to be more armed.
Mm-hmm. 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 That um, also one of the big takeaways for me was, you know, vampires exactly as you're saying it. Um, but they basically showed you can't trust them. So I left like, dang, like how could they have known who they could trust? Because even the at the beginning, the KKK people, the two other white people that joined Brumick, they trusted him just because he was white, just because he said, "Oh, the Indians," because they said
Mhm.
Indians, not Indian.
Mhm. Mhm.
But the Native Americans are after me,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, go ahead, come in." So,
Mhm. A common
um,
enemy just because they had a common prejudice. They
right.
know that's what I'm saying. The devil, viruses, energy vampires, things that want to attach to you know how to align. They
Mm-hmm.
know specifically what is the thing that's going to help me align with this person the best
Mm-hmm.
to get them to accept me, to invite me into their space
Mm-hmm.
and their domain. It's
Mm-hmm.
he knew exactly what to say.
He sure did. He sure did, and he changed it for each person that he needed to see, that he wanted to get.
Yes,
Changed
yes.
it for those the
Speak in
KKK people.
Chinese. Speak in Chinese to the Chinese lady. I said, "Oh my god."
That's that is the heaviest part. I like it could move me to tears with the way that because it's not just a mystical or mythical vampire. This is real energy in the way that it interacts with in the world. And we all have to be aware.
Mhm. Mhm.
And what you think is for you is your friend. If you are not grounded and spiritually in touch with yourself and with your God and your spirit guides, will take over you so easily
Yes.
and ruin your entire life.
Yes. Yes.
And we have seen that happen. I'm sure our listeners, I'm sure you guys have seen it happen to somebody's life, maybe in your own life, happen time and time again.
Yes. 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 That was a good conclusion. Go back and listen to our previous episodes that we do on nourishment. You will know how to arm yourself.
Yes.
If you guys want us to talk more about the Sinners movie, because there's so much more that we could talk about, or just another movie that you want us to do a think piece on, analyze, please send it in to keepexpectingmiracles at gmail.com, or just send us a DM on Instagram at Keep Expecting Miracles Pod. We want to hear from you guys. We love doing pop culture. We love talking about movies. This one was a great movie with um, Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler at the forefront. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We want to highlight Wound Me. She was the
Yes.
beautiful black woman in that movie, and all the other black women too in that movie that they featured. All the characters,
Mhm.
all the actors, they did a wonderful, fabulous job. We know that they are just characters, and so we want to thank them. Um, and just that movie was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful,
Mhm.
beautiful. So
Mhm.
tune in, go and watch it. Go and watch it if you haven't. This was a spoiler alert
Yes.
if you haven't. So
At the end, spoiler alert.
right, right, right. But thank you guys. Tune
Yeah.
in until next time. Bye
Bye.
bye.